Well, you know that I'm the guy. I'm out here living life. I'm busy. Making moves and catching flights. So please don't waste my time. I'm busy. Stay busy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Stay Busy with Armon and Sadler, brought to you by the Revolt Podcast Network. This is the podcast where we have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I'm, of course, your host, head honcho, vegan chorizo poppy, founder of Bald Nigga Ballers, Bald Nigga Bombshell, all the monikers, all that good stuff. Happy to be back here. The voice you heard, Will is back. What's up, man?
Yeah.
How's everything, brother?
Good. You know, everything's going good. I'm just trying to make sure this cat doesn't wild out. But yeah, everything's good right now. Everything's good.
He's bringing up his cat because we are virtual today. Very good reason for us to be virtual. There's a big topic that I wanted to discuss, and I had to bring in two very specific guys to do that. And so if you want to hear this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to our audio streaming platforms, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. If you want some bonus, unfiltered, early, unhinged content, hit the podcast OnlyFans, patreon.com/StayBusyPod. Want to get right to our guests because we have a big topic to discuss, a couple big topics to discuss, and we are also giving y'all a breezy episode. So two guys, very, very important. We talk damn near every day about everything. First, I want to start with the social media extraordinaire himself, whether it's Complex, whether it's Uprocks, whether it's all the various platforms he's written for, the constant viral tweets, making people angry about sports, music, just a variety of things. This guy's never afraid to speak his mind, and that's one thing that I appreciate about him. Very, very much so. Cam Hay is here. What's up, Cam? How you feeling, bro?
What's good, family? Good to be back for another episode. I got people mad at me right now because I ain't the biggest fan of Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl. So I bear this cross on my back, bro. I bear this cross on my back as Twitter's most hated voice right now for whatever reason. It depends on what day it is, man. It's a day that ends with Y. I'm probably the most hated person on there at the moment. So.
I love it. And another guy who probably used to be Twitter's most hated guy and then took some time away. He's kind of back a little bit, back in it, but, you know, mostly he's definitely handed the reins over to Cam. But, man, what is there to say about this dude? Host of A-Show, host of Black Print, previously also at Complex, Riot Games, you name it, he's done it. Sneakerhead, fashion guy, chef himself, my brother, the Sync, OG Johnny 5, Justin Davis is here. What's up, bro?
Hey, we are in sync. Armon, what's good? Will, what's good? So good to be back on this. Hey, y'all don't invite me back often, so I gotta really make a name for myself in this episode. So I'm gonna really say some really crazy shit tonight.
There it is. I think that I brought you for the perfect episode. There's a major topic that we're going to get to a little later, but as I do with all my guests, especially recently on the show and in 2025, I first want to ask you guys for your thoughts on the 2025 music landscape and specifically favorite albums this year, maybe some new artists that you're feeling, and just like the outlook on the future of music. And we talk about it a lot in the group chat, but figured I'd give you guys the platform to speak about it here for our listeners to hear. So whichever one of y'all will want to go first.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who goes first. I think me and Cam were pretty much lock in step when we say that it's kind of scuffed this year for music. I think a lot of things that happened last year, regardless of if you want to admit it or not, it's fucked right now. You know what I'm saying? And I say this all the time, and I hate that I was right about this. I hate that I got to pat myself on the back about this, but there's a schism between popular music, especially in terms of hip hop and everything else. I think that as a lot of different genres have kind of raised the bar a little bit, hip hop is kind of stagnated because the top three guys, they're either not active or the fans have been, they've had to pick a side. So rap is in a very, obviously most streamed or, most engaged with when it comes to the numbers and just the visibility of things. It's not how it is a year ago. And it's been an interesting year as we enter Q4. It's been an interesting year to look back at where people have kind of denied it. And I think back in March, we had a conversation like, okay, something's up. Are we getting anything major happening? And there was nothing. And now we're in almost October. We're like 2 days away from October when we record this. That we still really don't have. We've had 2 marquee releases in 2 weeks, but as far as the holiday, we really don't know. So the outscape and the landscape of 2025 music, I think right now we got to start looking for next year because it's over with at this point.
Yeah, we've already like reached the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter of this year. So if you want to talk about like my favorite albums this year, like if you follow me on Twitter and you know, like I've been a huge champion of some sexy songs for you. I think the album that's probably grown on me the most over the course of the year. I'm not a fan of the entirety, like full 30 tracks of it, but Playboi Carti's music, like I will say that has really like grown on me. I think I have probably like 12 songs from that album that I really, really, really rock with. I wouldn't be shocked if like come December when I look at my Apple replay for the year, that's probably going to be like my second or third most played album. I like Central C's album a lot. But as far as like anything outside of it like that, like I like a handful of songs from the Metro Futuristic Summer Project, but it's like not a project all the way through that I probably listen to all the way. Mariah the Scientist album was really good to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean that'll end up probably in my top 5
Mariah
for the year.
Absolutely.
Really, really good. The production from 1985, I think that was a good move on her behalf to go link with 1985, and I think they made something really, really worthwhile with that project. And it's early, and I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about this down the line. But I like Young Thug's album. I do like.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know if I'm pronouncing UY SCUTI right or if I'm pronouncing
UY SCUTI. But I think that was a good point that you brought up. Central C's album to me will more than likely. I don't know if there's just enough time. Well, I'll make a way for it to happen, but I don't know if there's enough time in the day for me to listen to enough Young Thug for it to end up in my top 5 probably. But Central C will more than likely end up in my top 5 because that was the hip hop album throughout the first couple of months of the year that I listened to the most. Just the message and the music and all that stuff. He shocked me. I didn't think that it was going to be as solid as it was for a debut project. And I mean, Armon knows this, Cam knows this. I've actually had to like kind of just leave hip hop alone this year. Like I kind of left it alone. It's on punishment for me. Like I've listened to a lot of different things this year. I think Julia Wolf's album was fantastic. Obviously, Karen brought up Mariah the Scientist. That was fantastic. I've said this before. It's not going to change. I think Turnstile's album is probably going to be my album of the year this year. It's not hard to figure out. That album's meant a lot to me this year. And you know, there's a chance for Thug to get in there, but as we'll talk about later, like I think that, you know, it's especially a solid album, especially for a return to form for him. But in terms of rap, we used to have 4 or 5 projects come out. I ran through a lot of albums. I listened to the Gunna, put it down. Cardi was cool for about a month for me, put it down. There's a lot of things where it's just not connecting with me enough. And shockingly enough, like I actually do like the Cardi B album, but it's not an album that I'm probably, just like her first one, it's not something I'm going to interact with or engage with a lot because it's to me a collection of singles and essentially it's cohesive in that front, but in terms of just everything else, I just don't know if I'll engage with it enough for it to be like top of the year.
One more project I want to shout out before I pass the mic to you, Armand, that I gotta give some love to. Babyface Ray's Codeine Cowboy album, that came out. Like I've actually got a lot of run out of that the last 3-4 weeks, probably. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know what, like I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it come November, December. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it 6 months from now. But like this little period of time that we've been in, like late summer, I have really enjoyed that listen. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That has.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, man, I agree. You know, I think back to like 2021 when we had Off Season from J. Cole. You know, Culture 3 from Migos. And there were obviously Certified Lover Boy. There's a couple other rap albums that dropped in 2021 that were pretty big. They don't come to mind right now, but yeah, we're really in a very, there's a void. There's a void. And a lot of the things that people are trying to tell us that are, these are classics. These are the reasons why, this is the best year for rap in a while. Like, they're just not necessarily resonating with me the same way. And I think the biggest issue that we talk about a lot is it's like rap veterans that are holding up the space and that have still, had to hold up the space this time. We've had so many guys that have come up and been the next guy, and, people have hailed them in that way. And then a year or two later, they're dropping duds or they just completely disappear. And so R&B for me has been the best this year. Like, I also love the Mariah the Scientist album. I really liked Giveon's album. Nippa, the London artist I talked to y'all about. There's a couple others, but yeah, rap has been lacking for me heavy. And I say it a lot. I can't wait till we just like wake up and like things are back to normal again. But I don't know when that's gonna happen. Because people,
it's impossible because that it's a perfect storm. I'm sorry, Will, but
go ahead. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
Last year was a perfect storm of everything that has happened, and I say this to a couple of my friends too. It's like hip hop is kind of it grew from kind of like a community based thing to a criticism based thing. And I think a lot of what's rooted in hip hop conversation, we confuse criticism, we confuse commentary with criticism. So when they mix, it never worked. So like what came out of last year was the commentary is just criticism. You know what I mean? So like when you have fans that feel bad about listening to a certain person, that's where it is. It's not cool to be a fan. I've said this before, even back in the day when I would be a Thug fan, and I was a huge Thug fan. People were like, well, they make you feel bad for liking something. We're at that point, even worse now, where you're called the worst things for being a fan of something. Well, if you're not a fan of something, how is anyone going to be successful? If everyone's too cool to be a fucking fan of something, how is that anything going to be successful or popular anymore? Like, we're at a convergence point where hip hop and the way that we talk about this it's damn near parallel to how we talk about politics now. And it makes it not fun for a lot of people. And a lot of people run to another genre to go get what they need without all the commentary. It's damn near like that with pop. So that's where a lot of people are going back to alternative, or, like hardcore is blowing up right now. Like, they're going to other things because there's not a conversation that'll make you feel bad about liking it.
Yeah. I can't lie to you. Like, the two things I really want to say is, like, one, Armon and I think a few people kind of like, you guys talked about this and kind of warned. I remember just doing the podcast last year and being there, like last year being like, rap is in a weird place, this and that. I just didn't really I didn't fully grasp it until this year. And I feel like what J5 said is like, I feel like the conversations between like what's underground or like popping or bubbling versus like what's mainstream, like the space has grown so much now. It's like you said, it's like a lot of criticism is like, it's just commentary, and like that shit, it's hard to move anything, like move a genre past anything like that is anything that has like any substantial value other than like, oh yeah, like we look at the charts and not seeing no rap in the top 10 or top 20 or shit like that. Like that's crazy to me in 2025. But the heyday, I guess, like you said, the heyday 2020, 2021, maybe 2019, all that type of stuff, like those days are really gone, bro. And it's like, the big thing that happened last year was the beef, but at the same time, it's like, damn, did like, what's it, like the perfect storm of the trickle down effect was coming, and maybe I just didn't see it myself. Like, I don't know if anybody saw what Kendrick and Drake did, but yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about it, bro. And like now people are talking about like country and this and that and pop, but it's just I think it's like crabs in the bucket type of thing right now. Rap is crazy, bro. Like,
and to your point, it's like we should have saw the signs years ago. Mm-hmm. We should have saw the signs, but like, what it is like, and I'm not even like the biggest fan of his music. And I'm gonna sound crazy saying this, like Chance the Rapper was really set to be that next guy to come after the Drakes and the Kendricks and the Coles. Niggas talked so bad about him that he went into exile. And that was kind of the first part where it was like, okay, so if it's not him, I said this on Twitter the other day, if it's not him, or it's not Thug, or it's not anyone that's cool, who's acceptable to listen to anymore? Because we're at a point where like we're walking on landmines. If I say I like this person, oh, he's fucking whack. Oh, he did this, or even worse, oh, this person he a snitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so many things that stops people from interacting and engaging with artists. And I'm like, why do we talk about our artists, our legends, our everyone like this? You saw this with Lil Wayne. It's like we saw the schism happening years ago. And I said this in the Black Print. I said it to Josh and Mark at the time. 2021, 2022, I think 23, one of them. I said, guys, we do not want the 2-3 biggest rappers in the world to beef, because the foundation we are standing on is not it's shaky. So if you make people make a choice, you're going to segment already segmented a majority, and they're going to go off and do other things. Yes, yes, Kendrick is still going to be a big deal. Yes, Drake is going to be a big deal. They've been around too long to not be. That's why the beef could never really end a career. But you see people in rap saying, I want him gone. I want him. I'm like, y'all don't really want that, because it's kind of like the sense of like, if NFL doesn't exist, if WWE doesn't exist, if NBA doesn't exist, there is nothing else there. They are the people that make this thing, this machine work. And now that we've seen the absence of that, people are seeing the drought, but they don't want to admit that it's happening. So I don't really know what to say, because nobody wants to admit that this shit is happening. Like, more power to the Clips, but I'm not listening to that shit. A lot of people aren't either.
You just saw it with the Bag Fuel podcast, where is that what they call it? Like, they were ESO or whatever was basically talking about this, and you saw a lot of people, kill them or push back. But like, we've had this conversation before. We had a conversation before the battle happened. We've had the conversation during the battle, post battle, everything. And J5, you were saying this for back in like 2018, 2019, to be honest with you, before 2020. But I don't think a lot of people really understand a big part of why a Kendrick, a Drake have been so successful is because they feed. You need both of them for this thing to move forward. They feed different segments of people. They feed the same segments of people, but they also feed different spectrums. So I don't think people understand, like you said, like, if you try to quote unquote kill one of them off or knock one of them completely out of the picture, it leaves a huge gap in avoided space that just isn't going to be able to be filled. And kind of what you're seeing with Drake, what Esso is hitting on, and I know people have had it. I don't know if people are scared to say it in media or if people just don't want to say it, but like, the Drake stimulus was a thing. And if he's not going to, Kendrick Lamar is not going to be the person to give everybody features or do songs. And that's never been.
And to that point, we don't need him to be, because he doesn't fulfill that role. And it's like, I'm aging myself, but like, I lived through Jay and Nas. Yeah. So like when that was over with, and people were saying at that point, hey, Jay's over with, he's done. You know what I'm saying? They were saying that at that time. However, we had choices. We had plenty of choices. We don't have those choices today. Because the same person that's going to listen to a Drake might not listen to Playboi Carti. And Kendrick fans are for sure not going to listen to Playboi Carti. And we saw that when there was no real ROI on those features earlier this year. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know what?
And now, like what you just said, there were a lot of Drake and Kendrick fans who would still listen to, even though, Drake is my guy or Kendrick's my guy. Before the battle happened, Drake fans would listen to a Kendrick Lamar album.
Yeah, for sure.
Before the battle happened, Kendrick Lamar fans, they would listen to a Drake album. Like, they might think that their guy is better. They might prefer their guy, but they would listen to it. Now, I don't think there's any chance. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of Drake fans who are still going to press play on a Kendrick Lamar album after Not Like Us. And I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a lot of Kendrick Lamar fans who will press play on a Drake album and give it a fair shot after the battle and after a song like Family Matters. Like, so I think that shit was way more detrimental than it was, helpful for hip hop. And I do think a big part of what we're seeing this year is I just think a lot of media and fans just have not been able to move past that moment. They just have not been able to move past it. And that's why a lot of projects and a lot of artists aren't getting a fair shake at all when they drop at this point, because I just feel like a lot of people aren't being open-minded completely. It was like, for lack of a better analogy right now off the top of my head, but it's like they say when you do crack for the first time, you're chasing that high.
I was just about to say that.
You're chasing that high over again. You'll never get that high. Like, I feel like the battle last year was like the entire hip hop and pop culture sphere doing crack, and now they're just chasing that. They're chasing the same thing ever saying you're not gonna get that again. We're never gonna get that again. We have to move past it.
It was the biggest. It was Tyson Lennox Lewis. It was the biggest title fight you could ever have. And now that it's over, boxing is dead. There's nothing else. There's no other big matchups that we can have. They're trying to Bia and Cardi B us to death. They're trying to do that, but it's not gonna. That's why I appreciate Thug being so honest about what this has done to his place as an artist, to him trying to make an album. There was a sense of camaraderie that for some reason, y'all, last year, people just all of a sudden didn't like anymore. People just didn't like artists to work together no more. It became like, oh, you're trying to use him for clout, and I'm like, it was never like this in 2017, 2018. Like, y'all like this. Like, this was like, it was, regardless of how we felt about like the Khaled album, the Khaled, content farm, we liked it because sometimes we get Future on something, we get Kendrick on something, sometimes we get Drake on something. That will never happen again. It can't happen because now it's so fractured to a point where everyone's in their own cliques, and it's like, who's going to be the person that's going to unite everybody again? And it's like, I more power to Thug. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. I just don't think he's able to do that right now. But I appreciate him as the only artist I feel like that's actually talking about the beef, that he actually says like, this is fucked up everything, especially for my album. Like, I appreciate him saying that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a great segue into his album. And I think when you discuss UY SCUTI, like, you have to discuss everything that's happened the last couple weeks, last couple months. And I've already
it has only been 3.5 weeks. It has not been a month since all of this started happening with him. He's released this album in less than a month.
Yeah. It was just so much that I just wanted to get away from it. And then he dropped the album, and I liked the album. So it's like, okay, I'm back in it. But like, I've already given my take on the jail calls and the interviews and all that. So Cam and Five, from your perspective, and Will, since you haven't been here, everything that's been happening with Thug leading up to the album, I know it's definitely been a roller coaster for you, J5. So if you want to kick it off with
listen, my chain. I said this on the Black Print this week. My chain has been tucked. It's been untucked. It's been in the trash. It's been out the trash. It's been a lot to be a Thug fan today. I'm a young Thug fan since my boy bald guy Alex. He hit me up on a text back in 2012, and he told me about this guy because he knew that I was one of the biggest Lil Wayne fans, and he said, "I got something for you." You know what I'm saying? I got a new artist for you. Like, I've been a fan of his forever, and I look at. And here's the thing with what he's done, with what's come out or what's said. I'm not judging anything that he said on those jail calls as anything but something that's rooted in somebody who felt as though their life was over, that their life is done. They're not getting out. There's anger, there's fear that I'll never understand. And honestly, it's not my place to judge whatever the fuck he said on those phone calls, because I was never in his situation. And my thing that bothers me about the public reaction to it is, other than y'all saying, oh shit, that's crazy he said that, why the fuck are we judging him for something that y'all do all the time on the phone? Y'all niggas people talk about niggas all day, and y'all think artists don't talk about each other? Really? Let's be fucking for real. All right, I've been around enough to know that's not fucking true. I see Will chuckling. I know you know too.
The fuck. The fuck.
But ultimately, like, it's not news to me. The interviews are not news. I think the real news to me, I don't know if you'll agree too, Cam, is like the Big Bang interview to me is one of the most soul bearing, kind of heartbreaking interviews I've ever seen in my life. And it takes me back to like back in the Power 106 Hot 97 days when rappers would come on radio and they would be there for 4 or 5 hours just talking. Jay-Z used to do it, and Nas used to do it, and Dipset used to do it, and everybody used to just go on the radio and talk. And I think Big Bank, was an outlet for him that he felt comfortable with. So you see, he didn't go to LA Wilson. He didn't go to fucking anywhere else. He went there because that was somebody who understood him. And I just saw a person that was afraid and hurt and trying to figure it out. And I think that in the weeks subsequent, after that, we're seeing Thug kind of put it together. We're seeing him. He literally asked Bank, like, how should I do this? And he said, should I let everybody know when I'm hurt? Should I let everybody know when I'm feeling depressed? And he said, yeah. And he's doing it. I think it's crazy to tag on an artist, and this actually will go into the album because I think that this actually frames a lot of people's opinions on it. But to tag in, you always want your artist to be vulnerable. That's gay, or that's fucking, that's weak, or that's some punk shit. We haters now. I'm the biggest hater. We haters now. We love that shit. Like that. Like we don't want artists to be, we don't want them to be vulnerable anymore. We don't want them to be introspective. We want them to just be in this world, this fucking area of hatred and anger. And I think that's really where we're at in the world. And I think that it's reflecting on Thug. And I honestly don't think he knows how to deal with it. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. So when the calls started leaking, I was on vacation, bro. So like I was seeing this shit like and confused. I was confused as fuck, bro. Like, how are we getting these calls, bro? Like, and I think my biggest issue I had with it, and I tweeted about this once I got back, and I like the calls kept coming because it seemed like literally like every day it was a new like phone call about somebody else dropping.
It was targeted.
And a lot of people kept saying, when I tweeted, I was like, yo, this is unethical. Like, I just don't think that these aren't even conversations we're supposed to be hearing. So like, I'm not even going to judge him on it because I'm not even supposed to be hearing Young Thug's thoughts on Future and his kids, bro. And they were telling me, they were like, oh, well, jail phone calls are recorded. So like, you got to be careful of what you're saying on there. They're not recorded to hear you and your girlfriend talking about your peers. They're recorded in case you incriminate yourself on the line. That's why they're recording the calls. They're not recording it so we can hear Young Thug talk to Mariah the Scientist about Glorilla, bro. Like, let's be serious. So these are not even calls that I feel like we should have even been privy to. So that was my first reaction. And then like Five said, bro, we've talked about it. And if I was any of those people, whether it was Future, Lil Baby, Drake, Lil Durk, whoever the case may be, how can I take this call? How can I hear this and really feel some type of way? This nigga was locked up for 3 years?
Almost. Yeah.
Thought he was probably going to be doing the rest of his life behind bars, at least 20, 25 years. He probably realistically thought it was over, especially when everybody else pled out and it was like, it looked like it was just him left. They got what they wanted. Like, he probably thought it was over. And he said that in the Big Bang interview, bro. He was explaining like, yo, I'm locked down 23 hours. Then I go to court and I might get body slammed by the judge that day. Here's some bad news. Now my head is on Mars, bro. So when I get on a call with my girl or I'm on a call with one of my homies, the last thing he trying to hear about is some Metro Boomin versus Drake shit or some fucking, Future shit or anything. So when you bring that up, we've all been in that situation where we in a fucked up mood and somebody brings something up that you really ain't even trying to hear about, bro. Like you ain't even trying to really hear about it. And your first reaction is to just either be dismissive or just be nasty about it. Then you'll come back and you be like, I was probably tripping. In that moment. But we've all been there, bro. Like somebody say something to you and you be like, I don't give a fuck or fuck that. So like, I don't give a fuck about it right now. My mind is not on that. I can't even think to care about it enough or say anything positive. So if I was any of those people, I wouldn't even feel any type of way. And I agree about the Big Bang interview. I think that's one of the best interviews in hip hop we've seen in a long time. Like I can't
at least almost a decade.
I can't remember the last time I've seen an interview where a rapper sat down and it wasn't even like an interview. Like it was like he got everything that was on his back for the last 3 years off his back in that interview. Like to see him cry, to see him begin the interview talking about, I watched my brother get killed in front of me 2 days before I turned 10 years old. That's context to why he is the way he is, the way he views the world, the way he sees things, the way he takes things in, bro. That's not it. Like somebody on Twitter the other day was trying to tell me at what point do we stop using somebody's background as an excuse for degeneracy when they're 35?
Never.
It's not an excuse. This is reality.
This is like and again, one thing that stuck out to me from that interview was that like Doug said, like when he was in there, he felt as though this wasn't what life's supposed to be. said, this is not what my life was supposed to be. And I think that encapsulates a lot of the desperation and the helplessness and hopelessness that he felt while he was in there. And I think the biggest, as we go into this album, I think the biggest kind of like elephant in the room, but not really of it, is the Gunna situation. And I'll be real, like, I do not agree with a lot of the things that he says or said about Gunna. I don't. But if you can't tell me he didn't have proof and evidence of everything he was saying was absolutely correct. And I think that we all walked into that interview not realizing what he was saying was correct. And then I think Thugger Daily put the paperwork out and was like, oh yeah, he's absolutely telling the truth. Like, Gunna could have testified against him, and that is the crux of it. I was going through for the last 2 years saying, no, he couldn't. The paperwork said he did. Why are we arguing this anymore? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to agree with him calling him a rat. I don't think he's a rat, but I'm also a civilian. These are dudes that rode together. These are people that rode together for life. You know what I'm saying? I could say my civilian ass, I ain't doing jail for nobody. But Thug said, exactly. Thug said, we rapping about spinning. And I said, well, Gunna, I don't know what to tell you, brother. You definitely was rapping about spinning. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is an issue, but that is exclusively between these two. But as I said before, criticism and commentary is blurred. The line is blurred. So now it's not commentary. It's not, you know what, Thug got a point. It's black and white, never gray. It's, you know what, fuck Thug because Gunna's innocent. He's a sweet baby angel. Even though we're seeing proof from Thug saying, well, you know, he did this, and did this. It's like, no, he's trying to manipulate the narrative. Do you think of everything that you've heard and seen him go through, he's never been able to tell his side? And to that point, I feel like Gunna, realistically, I think he should. I think the only way that we can get this out in the open is that he should. He probably never will, and that's fine. But you don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but you can respect how that man feels, because sometimes we don't always agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I take this with everything with Thug. Nothing that he said is hateful. Nothing that he said is like slavery is a choice. Nothing that he said is MAGA. Nothing that he said, none of that shit. Nothing that he has said is anything that we as black people should be fucking this upset about this nigga for. Like, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
you know,
go ahead, Will.
No. I mean, I like, I don't know who said. I think maybe Cam said it, or maybe U5, that, like, you know, this beat, like the beef of the Drake shit left such a void in like the multi-universe of like everything coming together, that like the way that like you said, like how Thug feels and how he was sitting there for 3 years thinking he's never gonna get out. Like, some of the stuff he was saying and some of the stuff he was feeling, is like you said, a lot of people have never felt that before. No people's really been like knocked down to their knees begging to God, like, I need to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's unfortunate, because I think people want real shit, but when they get real shit, they can't handle it. And like, that interview was one of the most like vulnerable spots that an artist of that stature has been in. And the way he, like you said, like, he laughed, he cried, he told everything about like what's going on. And it's just, you know, people have to get a real grasp on reality, bro. Like you said, like, when did we stop blaming him for the past? Never. Like, the way he grew up, the way he went through is like, are y'all serious? So I don't know, man. It's just,
and also, how is he gonna get over the past when he's not getting help in the present? You know what I'm saying? Like, that just literally makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. And nothing like I said, nothing he said is hateful. You just don't like it because we all the biggest haters. We the biggest haters. We hate niggas now. Like, that's the cool thing. I'm like, it ain't never been fucking cool to be a hater. The fuck is wrong with y'all?
never.
Quite literally never. But yeah, I find it so interesting that like this music landscape of fans who so desperately want to find connection and want to relate to artists. They want their music to be relatable. They seek relatability. Oh, like, yo, that song is good, but I ain't feel it. Oh, but this song, I feel it. You want to relate to the music, but not relate to the human being. Like, that's just a really interesting concept to me. Like, I was in one of my group chats yesterday, and someone said, yo, the way Dame Dash and Young Thug have cooked their careers these last couple weeks, I'm like, Thug and Dame on the same level? Like, for real? Like Dame, compulsive liar who's been obsessed with Jay-Z for decades. Like, like you putting Thug on the same level as Dame because Thug is unloading about his trauma from being in jail and feeling betrayed. Like,
which it took him a year to talk about.
Yeah.
Like we have been asking him to do this since the day he got out.
Yeah.
He's only to this point before last Friday, he had only put out 2 songs. And we still have people saying this shit whack. I'm like, yeah. Just this nigga off of 2. No, actually, it wasn't even 2 songs. One was a verse, and one was a song.
Dumb and Dumber's a verse, and then Money on Money with Future was a song. So before closing arguments, which he still did not put out, that leaked.
Exactly.
That was a leak.
I'm so mad that's not out.
That leaked. So really, until I Miss My Dogs, we had only a song and a verse from this nigga, bro. Like,
and people try to call him washed.
And snippets. And like I think, and the thing about the thing about it, and I think that what makes it even crazy is how aggressive the backlash has been against him. Like I can understand like what Big Bang said on the interview. Like a lot of people felt like you were wasting your blessings, and I agree. I felt like he was as well. I was never aggressively. He's washed. I was never saying that. I'm like, what? We listened to this album. If there's one thing that this album has showed me, a couple things. He is still one of the most technically gifted, dynamic, craziest, weirdest rappers that we've ever seen in the game. And we need to cultivate that type of talent because there aren't enough people that are doing it at that high level. Like we love Cardi. Like Cardi's cool. He don't rap. Like Thug do. He don't rap. There's barely any songs on I Am Music where he's actually like rapping. And Thug is still rapping. He's still doing the same things that we loved him for 10 years ago, but today it is bad. And I can say, like, as a Thug fan, I was a little bored of him around COVID time because he stopped doing a lot of the weird stuff. He was very straightforward. I think from Punk onward, he was very straightforward. He or before Punk, but like you understood what he was saying. He was very basic, regular rapper. He next to Future at times. It just felt like he had kind of taken a step back, and maybe that's because he wanted us to focus on Gunna. You know, maybe those are reasons why he wanted to do it, but a lot of the songs that he was being weird on, he never put out. So like now to see on UY SCUTI, first fucking song, I'm like, yo, my nigga's back. My nigga's back, bro.
Hell no. Yeah.
And it's the conversation around Ninja is like, it's such a headache because, and me and Cam have talked about this before, like the way people will try to cancel a song off of lines, like they'll isolate a 20-second portion of a song and say, nah, the whole shit trash. I'm not playing.
Say the whole album is trash.
Fam, they'll say I'm not playing the rest of this album if this is what he doing on one song. Like, and what's crazy, Ninja's a good song. That's a great record, bro. Like that's one of the best intros I've heard this year. Probably.
My question is, how is Ninja any different than anything he's ever done? Like I said this to Mark the other day. I said they're trying to Carter 4 this album, and I think this album is actually like quite better than the Carter 4. But people are really trying hard to Carter 4 this, and I think it's like how are people feeling like from the cover to everything up, they're just like this is just terrible.
You mean Carter 6 that just came out this year?
No, Carter 4. I'm talking about when the comeback album for Wayne. Like, niggas when he first got out. Again, dating myself, but like when he first got out, niggas were aggressive in saying that was fucking mid and trash, right? I don't hear Carter 4 when I hear this fucking album. Wayne, when he got out for Carter 4, there was like a step that he was missing. There was a couple steps missing.
Funny thing is, Carter 4 is not even that bad of an album, bro. Like,
it's not.
If you go back and listen to the track
I really
list,
like it.
If you go back and look at the track list on it, it's not that bad, bro. It's not.
Did a throwbacks on it. It got some stinkers on it, but it is.
But it has some crazy high points too, though. Like
absolutely.
Yeah. Like for every John, you get like a fucking, it's good or whatever. But like, but ultimately, like with UY SCUTI, like the reason I like the album so much is that again, it's Thug back at his core. I think it's like a concerted effort for him to say, I need to go back to the basics, to what made people like me in the beginning. Cam and Armon and I, we kind of were privy to a couple of some of the information about the album that a lot of people didn't really know before it came out. So like we knew what the first song was. Like we knew a couple of months ago what the album was, but from what we know, like the album is completely different from what it was a couple months ago. He added songs to it. I think I'm So Dope is actually one of the songs that was added to it. Obviously Miss My Dogs was added to it. A couple of things on there were added to it that really gave it that sense of like, and I don't even feel like the album is so much of an album as it is like really kind of like a high budget mixtape that he put out. Like it just feels like one of his tapes. And I think he was going for that look, like, because Thug is never going to give you like a traditional album. And I think people need to stop asking for that. It's not going to happen. I saw the same reaction that I saw when like So Much Fun came out. Saw the same reaction that I saw when Punk came out. It like, he's never going to give you the traditional album you want. So when I see people say like, I'm listening to his album, when does it get good? Or I'm seeing people post the fucking slam dunk into the trash can. I'm like, what happened? I came out of a movie. I came out of one battle after another, and I saw our Discord, and everybody was like, I'm fucking with it. And I was like, okay. I went on Twitter. Nigga was like, this is ass. He's done. He's washed. I'm like, what is going on? I listened to the shit, and I'm like, this don't sound that much different from like maybe like Jeffrey, or maybe even not even Jeffrey, something before that Slime Season shit. Like that's what it sounded like to me. Badly mixed and mastered. Sometimes barely having a chorus, but like I thought that's what we loved. And I had to remember, niggas ain't really fans. Niggas ain't. Yeah. Niggas ain't day ones. That's what happens, y'all.
Yeah, this is first album back out of jail. Like first time to record. Like this is first time recording music, and essentially they got arrested in 2022. Yeah, like 2025. So music, it's not the same as, you gotta kind of view this shit the same way as like playing a sport, damn near. Like if somebody tears their ACL or tears their Achilles and they have to go through the rehab process, and then when they get back on the court, there's gonna be rust. They're not gonna come back the first season back and be, oh, that's the same guy. But the next year back, you'll start to see them return to form. All I was looking for, realistically, I wasn't expecting Young Thug to drop a classic. I wasn't expecting him to drop Slime Season 2.
He's already done it like 5 times.
I'm not expecting him to drop Slime Season. I wasn't expecting I'm Up. I was like that. I wasn't expecting that. Like what I wanted from Young Thug was, we've all said this. I think the main thing, what people turn on him, but people haven't been able to just, drop it. He was tweeting too much. I do think he was tweeting too much before he did the interview with Big Bang, before he started putting songs, like the constant tweeting about Gunna and Rats and everything. It did get to a point, and that's kind of what Big Bang was talking about. Like you were playing around with your blessing pretty much. Like you didn't have the humility that you needed to have. I wanted him to show that vulnerability and channel whatever it was he was really feeling into music, because that's, in my personal opinion, that's when I think Thug is at his best. My favorite Young Thug songs are probably his most emotional, vulnerable records. Like a lot of people who you would call maybe casual listeners or passive listeners, they're gonna love the hits. They're gonna love the songs that we all love. But like when I really love Young Thug, like King Troop, like fucking We Ball, his verse on We Ball. We talked about it when My Turn came out. I think on We Should. I think even though that's only like a 30-second verse, like the amount of content and emotion he packed in that verse, that's the type of stuff I wanted. I feel like I got that with Blaming Jesus. I think that's already in one weekend one of my favorite songs.
Bro, Catch Me I'm Falling is like, it's all I asked for. That's literally all I asked for. Catch Me I'm Falling, Blaming Jesus. I think What Up Jesus is fucking fire. I think the song with T.I. R.I.P. Big and Mac is actually really good. I don't know how they made a better song than fucking About the Money, but that song might
the last song with
that might go.
Dreams rarely do come true. Like
that shit.
Yeah.
Like
he's talking all that shit, bro. Like
I agree. Like and like Five said, Thug, outside of realistically So Much Fun, he's never made what you would call a traditional album, like something that you're gonna listen to top to bottom and be like, yo, I felt the same way when I listened to. You're not gonna listen to that and like Take Care or Good Kid, Mad City and think you're getting that the blueprint. Like that's not, if you're going into that with those type of expectations, you already set yourself up for failure. Like I needed Signs of Life, and I felt like I got it. Yeah. I had got Signs of Life. I thought his verse on Dumb Dumb and Dumber, if you're looking for the trap shit, the turn up shit, everything, that right there, that Thug on Dumb Dumb and Dumber, I got it.
Yeah.
Miss My Dogs, I was over the moon. I was like, yo,
I love that song.
I was like, we back, bro. I was like, yo, So I just need Signs of Life. I'm not expecting his first project since he went to jail in 2022 to be this slam dunk top of his discography.
Yeah, but
project,
and we got to remember, this is his first time making music without Duke, without Gotti, without B Slime, without Gunna, without everybody. He has nobody. Yeah. And I think that it's really there's a core when you're creative, when you're in the studio, there's a core of people that you work with. They call it frequent collaborators. And those are the people that you are always working with and that you always have that trust in. He doesn't have that. So it's like whatever he's doing, his new focus group is a completely new crop of guys. And then his other focus group are friends or former friends who don't fuck with each other no more. So he can't be in the studio with a Future and a Drake at the same time no more. He can't be in the future with or in the studio with a you know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't work that way anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't think that hindered this album too much to that point. But I think that we also have to remember, like, we're going to be hearing something really different from him going forward. You know what I mean? Or we might, again, go back to the status quo of what he was doing. I think a lot of UY SCUTI is a hard drive dump. Yes, he does that often. He will just dump the hard drive and whatever is there, whatever ends up being a hit is a hit. But there's also moments there where, like, I don't think he would have released these songs if people weren't on his back about how he was acting. Like, I just don't think he would. I think that he needed to get these songs out to let people know what it was. And I think that he did a good job. I thought that the fucking Face on the News is actually like a really fun song. Like, I really fuck with that song. I think he got something really cool out of Cardi B on that song that I wasn't expecting. Of course, I brought up the T.I. song. Him and Lucci actually have chemistry. I thought that was actually kind of shocking. Yeah. That was shocking to me. But again, the songs with him and Mariah, they need to just go ahead and make an album together. Like, they actually got have you heard the Birthday Boy joint from the vinyl? That shit is hard. Like, I think they need to go ahead and he needs to, do what he got to do to patch that up and make sure they can get more songs together. But I think of the critical reception. I'm seeing, like, even like journalists and stuff go at him and stuff, and I'm like, I just don't understand what exactly the disconnect has been. But I really truly believe, and I said this on Twitter, that it's groupthink for sure, but it's also a proxy war between Thug and Gunna, where, once again, because of what happened last year, people have picked a side. Yeah. They picked a side, and they're staying there, and they're like, well, you hurt Gunna, so your album's whack, and we're gonna hurt your feelings, and we're gonna make you fucking feel it. You know what I mean? And I think that's just such again, blurs the line. Commentary criticism. There just can't be one. I literally saw somebody say, like, when does this shit get good? And I'm like, nigga, song 2, song 3? Like, what do you mean? What are you listening to right now?
As soon as you get on the news, bro, that shit, in my opinion, I don't think
it goes up. Like, I'll probably skip the Ken Carson song forever because for one, it's too goddamn long. But it's like, I look at, like, one of the biggest kind of culprits of this and the way people have reacted to it. And I don't know how y'all feel about the song. Whoop-de-doo is on here. Yeah, something that we knew he was recording like a week ago. We saw him record this a week ago. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo is on here. And people are like, what the fuck? I can't believe he's doing this shit. He's using this shit. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? Y'all like Sup Mate from So Much Fun with Future? That's the same shit he doing on there.
Was it Nut on on I Never Liked You? Him and Young Thug on that song.
Yeah, for Nut. Same type of shit. He just, again, what I love about this project is that he's back to using his voice as an instrument. It's an element to Thug's artistry that he stopped doing around COVID time. And I was just like, I wish he would just, like, go back to doing shit like that. Whoop-de-doo, that second half where he's like, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. Like, that's, I'm humming that around the house all day because it's an earworm. It gets in your head. But it's like, to see people reject something that's like creative and just so, I don't understand it. Like, I really think that we're fucking cooked if we can't get respect for that.
Will has said this I don't know, Will, we've been in the chat for like 4 years together. Yeah. For like at least the last 2.5, this is probably the thing that you say the most that I agree with every single time. Everybody wants to be a critic now instead of just being a consumer and a fan. Like, I don't think and it's nothing wrong with having an opinion. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Everybody is entitled to having their opinion and feeling how they want to feel about everything. But I think social media, Twitter specifically, has allowed a lot of people to feel like their opinion matters more than it really does. And I think now, more than anything, because we have so much access to like a Young Thug's personal life, because we see everything, like a Drake or a Future or anybody, we judge these guys now on who we think they are as a person. Because realistically, we don't know them. We judge a lot of them on what we see from them and what we think they are as a person, and allow that to cloud our judgment of the actual music or the art that they put forward.
Yep.
And I don't think that's necessarily how music should be consumed. I don't think that that's the way that we should. I can't go into a project from somebody, and because I don't like you as a person, or because you don't like this rapper and I like this rapper, I'm not gonna give you a fair shake, bro. Like, I just don't think that's a way to listen to music, bro.
And that's the point that I ultimately want to get to, is that we're seeing Kendrick and Drake again, but it's happening between Young Thug and Gunna. Because I don't think people really like engage with that last Gunna album like that. But because they have for some reason, a parasocial relationship with his success and what he does, he runs, he works out, he does. I'm like, but you don't know him. Like, just because he's quiet doesn't mean he's innocent. Yeah. And I think like Thug brought this up during the Big Bang interview, and people tried to flip him saying this, but it was just like, well, like Gunna's quiet. He's strategic. He's strategic in what he says and what he does. That spoke more to how I know he's going to respond to this than what Thug said. Thug is emotional. Yeah. That's something we didn't know. He's emotional. He's reckless. He's stubborn. That's what he does. That doesn't mean that he's trying to manipulate the situation. It means that like these two have always been different. Yeah. We just didn't see it. They've always been different. and now we're starting to see where when that breaks up, how they're able to maneuver through that. So like we're seeing the Kendrick and Drake thing again. We're seeing people once again take a side and segment an already segmented genre, but now it's happening within a friend group. It's already segmented. Some of these guys are never going to make music again. Some of these guys can't make music again. And now that they're broken up. So we'll see, what Thug does, we'll see what Gunna does, but like that's going to harm both of them, because now fans have taken a side instead of just saying, oh, it is what it is. Like this type of shit just never happens. And I think it's just very strange that people keep allowing it to happen. And honestly, they keep allowing hip hop media to let it happen and permeate. They keep getting hyped up by these fucking streamers and these fucking old heads and shit like that. They're like, why won't y'all fucking wake up and see what these people are doing? They are separating and dividing us just to get clicks. I just don't understand how people keep allowing this to happen while your favorite genre suffers from this. It's happening with Thug. It's happening with the two biggest artists. What makes you think it won't happen with your artist next? Like, I think it's just odd. Like, look at the fucking Coachella lineup, bro. It's Thug. It's Central C. Who's the other rapper? The third rapper?
Sexy Red's on there.
Sexy Red. It's just them three.
I think there's one more.
There's like 7 total acts, but those are the 3 biggest acts for sure.
They're cooked. We're cooked. Yeah. And you keep letting these people tell you what's hot and what's not. It's time for us to go away and just decide what the fuck we think is hot and what's not. Because from what I'm seeing, it's very fucking disturbing. It's very disturbing, guys.
Yeah. No, you guys covered everything I would have said. I tweeted this Friday, 5 quoted it, but like I just had a feeling people's minds would be made up on the music weeks ago. And then we get to Friday and we see all the reactions, and similar to a bunch of different albums this year that I've liked that people didn't like, I just felt like I got a completely different album, because I love that I can hear Thug kind of reconnecting to his old self, but also finding a new sense of self and everything that he's been dealing with. I love that he still brings the best out of people. I've been bored of 21 Savage. I've been bored of Travis Scott. I've been bored of Lil Baby. Quavo. Yo, Spider and Jeffrey, that's my shit. But like, every single one of them put up one of their best performances in a while next to Thug. I feel like he gave a bunch of different shit for everyone on this project, and he kind of always has done that. But it's so clear that people were fans of him for an aesthetic or fans of him to fit in.
Because it was cool.
But they really didn't appreciate the Young Thug we was listening to, 2013, 2014, 2015.
That's truly why I'm glad. Because I remember back in the day, they fucking hated 1017 Thug. Yeah. They fucking hated Slime Season 1. They fucking hated Slime. I was like, good. I'm glad I'm back to that, because you know what? More for me. I get to enjoy it. But ultimately, y'all are fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are fucked because if no one is cool, if no one is good, then then who is good? Who are we allowed to listen to? I'm not. You're not catching me dead listening to no fucking clips. I say that again. I said it earlier in the show. You know, I'm not getting caught dead listening to that shit. I'm not getting caught dead listening to no fucking Freddie Gibbs. I'm just not doing it. That's not my style of shit. That's not gonna also be the popular music, the most popular music that's out. So when the big three is gone, then what you got? Thug was realistic. Future and Thug, realistically, the next two up. Now they whack. All right, who are you listening to now?
We clown Meek Mill now. Meek Mill was one of those people that was supposed to be in that next tier. Think of Meek Mill's reputation 2018 through 2020, and then think of what it is now. And it's not like he's gone to jail. He hasn't committed a crime.
He just tweets.
He just tweets. Mm-hmm. But for some reason now it's like we're completely off of this nigga, bro. Like,
and it's not like it was a beef that did this to him, because if you recall, after the Drake beef, he was fine. And people like constantly tried to say that the Drake beef is what caused him to be what he is right now. I'm like, no, like Championships went platinum. I think like it did very well. It was a huge album. Going Bad is diamond now.
Yeah, Going Bad is diamond.
Yeah, like Meek Mill is still should be considered like a top tier guy, and because the echo chamber, as we say, has pushed him out, that's where it is. I don't want to see this happen to Thug, because again, like I said, there's signs of life. He's not over. He's not done.
Absolutely,
he's not done yet. And I pray that the landscape makes it possible for artists like him to thrive in the absence of a big two or a big three or whatever. Like, there needs to be people that survive. You saw artists like Big Sean struggle last year because they didn't beef with anybody. You're seeing artists realistically struggle to do things. Cardi B had to get on her 1995 TRL shit, 1997 TRL shit to get the 200,000 she did this week.
Literally in the streets. Literally was in the streets.
Literally.
She was on the goddamn subway, man. I was like,
yes. She had to get on her fucking grind. And you know what? I salute her. More power to her, because artists have not been taught or shown that that's what you're supposed to do. And to a certain extent, Thug has been doing it too. He did an interview circuit for the first time in his fucking career. He's on podcasts.
He's on the pivot. He's on
the pivot. Yeah, he's on the pivot. Facts. He just did something today too.
Podcast drop. I'm gonna watch this as we get out of here.
He did the pivot, and he did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, but all people are talking about is him saying, "Well, he don't like therapy. How dare he not like therapy? He a hood nigga. What's wrong with y'all?"
Oh my god. Yeah, I seen Cam engaging with that.
That's
online.
The tweet I was talking about, bro. When I was
I just couldn't believe it.
When somebody that's the tweet when I was like. There was some woman on Twitter. She was like, because of course we're in clip culture. That clip was the one, and she tweeted, she was like, abuser talk 101.
And right after and the thing is, right when that clip cuts off, he explains himself right after that. Like, it's just crazy.
And I was like, this app is not the real world, because they act like every single human being, they act like all of us come from the exact same walk of life and have experienced the same exact things and were raised the same exact way. That's not an abuser. That's somebody who, for 25 years of their life, was in a constant mode of fight or flight, realistically, based off of what he's told us. He was in the streets. He don't have time to think about depression and therapy. He's trying to figure out how he's going to survive the next day. The last 10 years, he's been out of the streets, but in that same window, 3 of them was behind bars. He has not been taught what therapy is and the importance of it yet. That's what that quote was. That's not somebody who's an abuser and tries to isolate their partner from everybody else. That's somebody
But Thug has become the conversation piece of the week. And when he's not a conversation piece of the week, they're going to move back to what the conversation of the week always is. Drake and Kendrick Lamar. We got a reprieve. Y'all notice, like, we got a reprieve from those two. Thug started acting up right after Iceman episode 3. Right after he started acting up.
That's a fact.
And so we've had a reprieve from all of that shit. You wouldn't even have known that was 3 weeks ago until I said it. Because Thug started right after that. And then when the album comes out and people laugh at the numbers, which he's never been a fucking mega seller. I don't know why people are like, he did all that shit talking about being so suicidal. I'm like, bro, he's never ever been a mega seller. That's never been his allure. His allure is that, like, they put him on the same pedestal of a Future as a Gucci Mane, or a Gucci Mane as being one of the most influential artists. He's influenced Uzi, he's influenced Cardi, he's influenced all these people. Like that's his social cachet. Not being Drake level. That's not why people love him. So I don't know why people are trying to talk about him flopping. He did. Do you understand how crazy it feels to talk about sense for people to not understand this shit? Like, after this is over with and numbers come out and everything, they're gonna move on to the next thing. But you know what's this week? It's Taylor Swift. So she putting all her ops in the ground, nigger. You know what I'm saying? She said, all you niggers are gone. You niggers are gone. It's over for that nigger talk. Period. It's Big Brina, it's Big Swifty,
and now you see
and just a couple other niggas is going to get through.
The Bad Bunny Super Bowl announcement, bro. Like all of that shit is starting to
Oh yeah, they done with our black asses.
Yeah, they getting all the hip hop
They've
stuff.
been done.
Like,
They've been done with our black asses.
So
yeah.
I don't think he's gotten a fair shake, but like you said, barring him dropping Slime season 2 or 3, I don't think that he was ever shit. I think if he'd have dropped Slime season 2 at this point, they would have found a way to be like, this shit was ass.
But remember, Cam, 2015, niggas didn't like Slime season 2 either. He was still gay, he was still weird, he was still a troll, he was still all of these things that like he peeled back on for a while, but when he went back to it, like, hey, this is like kind of really who I am. Like he even said in the newest interview today, he was like, hey, like the cover is like what I talk about. We make jokes like that all the time. Like we can't laugh no more. And again, like he's never coming from a place of hatred. He's not fucking like I don't understand how people are like. Next thing you know, they're gonna call him a Zionist. Like I don't know what the fuck is next on the thug path.
You know what's crazy? All the stuff that you've been naming, like all the stuff we've been naming off, is like what makes an artist great. Like that's why we listen to these type of artists and this type of music. Like it's literally fuck the system, punk shit. It's literally like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Then it's like 3, I'm gonna be as vulnerable as I want, and then like 4, it's like,
but
I'm so cool. Y'all niggas want to be like yeah. It's like everything, bro.
It's only cool for one nigga to do that today.
That's
only cool for one nigga to do that today. And you know who that is. I'm not trying to talk about the double standard, but it's feeling real MAGA-ish when it comes to shit like that. There's only one nigga that's allowed to be vulnerable, that's allowed to do weird shit, that's allowed to dress how he wants to. There's only one person that's allowed to do this, and that's the fucking problem. And I feel like media has propped this up. And the machine of bots and fucking engagement metrics and shit like that has propped this up. The culture is in trouble. There is no more that like. Granted, y'all might not have watched this shit. No more hip hop awards. No more shit like that. People in radio, urban divisions, all being wiped out at labels. People getting fired en masse and replaced by white folk. Like it's all being fucking wiped out, and y'all are letting it happen. And y'all are not championing artists that are trying to make fucking great music. That is the problem.
Or they want the great music to fit one specific style. It has to sound a specific way. This is the only way that hip hop is supposed to sound. We're getting back to this is we're back. This is what the culture is supposed to sound like. This is what it is. Like it's only supposed to sound one specific way.
And you know what it sounded like to me, and this would be my final point. I went to VCU when I was in college. And this was a long time ago, right? Almost 20 years ago, right? And the conversation du jour at the time was East Coast rap. But something happened in 2005 that changed all of that shit. And it was the South. It was Young Jeezy. It was all of that. It was Lil Jon. It was all of that shit happening. And everyone had such a fucking visceral reaction to that shit where they just fucking hated it. They hated it for years. We're at that point again. Yeah. We're at that point again where we're only allowed to listen to one type of thing, one type of rapper, one type of aesthetic. It's going to take a DMX level, Get At Me Dog level, or a Young Jeezy type level, or a Lil Wayne level artist to break us out of this. Thug's been around too long. He can't do it.
Yeah, it's not him. You're right. Yeah,
like
not him.
Cardi's been around too long. Like realistically, Cardi's been around for 10 years. It's not him either.
Crazy.
It's not him either. Facts. Like, yeah. It's not him.
Like we need someone complete. I said this last year. I was like, there needs to be a young nigga that comes out and calls Drake and Kendrick old, and that's when we're in the next step of what we do. I might not like them. You might not like them, Cam. Armon, you might not like them. Will, you might not like them. But that's the next step. There needs to be somebody that comes out and says, "This shit is old. These old niggas is whack. This is the new shit that we're on today." That's how I felt when DM.
Like that.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean you're.
But that's how I felt.
Right.
That's essentially what Drake did to become Drake.
Facts. Like,
yeah.
I'm just feeling like the throne is for the take and watch like you need somebody to come out and come directly at the big dog.
Yeah.
And actually be good enough. Like that's the thing too. They have to be good enough and they have to come directly at them and be like, yo, I'm here.
No, that's crazy.
I'm here. Like
fearless.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
And until we have that, I just don't see anything changing. So we need a fucking get at me dog level. I'm telling you, y'all niggas are too young to remember what that video was like when that shit came out. I'm telling you, that shit was like Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit, nigga. Like we need that type of vibe again in the game. And
no, you're right, bro.
I ain't seeing it in
we need we need some earth shattering shit to happen, like on some shit, like like on some like okay, like it's like fuck the established system, fuck these art, like like all that.
Yeah, and it can't be. I look at it like politics too. It can't be tied to like how I mean personally, I don't want my fucking politicians tied to the Clintons. I want them tied to nothing. They can't be tied to fucking. It can't be tied to Kendrick. It can't be tied to Drake. It can't be tied to Lil Wayne. It can't be tied to the Carters. They have to be their own thing. And I don't know what that person is going to be. We had it with Chance for a minute.
Yeah.
He's gone. So
no. Factual. Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming through. Fantastic conversation. So listeners, definitely let us know how y'all feel about UY SCUTI. Of course, let us know your thoughts about the 2025 music landscape and our ongoing conversations about them. Will, always good to have you back, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Cam, J5, True Stay Busy alumni, always great to have y'all. Y'all always welcome back. You are not being slighted or intentionally kept off.
I'm being outcasted.
I gotta pull up to New York and do a actual episode.
Me too.
You do.
I got to. I never met Will in person. He's been on our show. I never met him in person. I got to meet Will in person for sure.
Man.
Yeah.
J5, I don't know why you trying to act like you a grandpa, man. You're not that old, man.
Man, I've seen things. I've seen too much.
He got some wisdom on him.
Oh man, but appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate the conversation. As we said, listeners, follow us at Stay Busy Pod. Subscribe to all platforms, and to tell them where to follow y'all.
Don't follow me. Go ahead, Cam.
You follow me on Twitter at Kameron KAMERON _ Hay HAY. Instagram at Cambo500. And I think that's my TikTok as well. But those are the 3 places I'll be at the most. So yeah.
You be on TikTok?
There it is.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. You be on TikTok? That just kind of threw me for a loop.
I post a little bit. I'm about to really start posting on there for real though. So yeah, y'all might as well get in there early. Everybody that follow me right now, just if you go on my page and look through the comments, it's just like, how do you know KD? How do you know KD?
Oh, God.
A bunch of KD fans follow me on TikTok, and
I'm gonna go in your comments and say, how do you know J5?
Hey, it'll be a change of pace.
You want to talk about a divisive nigga? That nigga KD, boy. That nigga,
that would be a whole other episode itself,
bro. He's insane. Yeah. That's my nigga. I fuck with him. He's crazy though. What?
Nah, shout out to KD and shout out to the Rockets. But listeners, thank y'all for tapping in again. We'll be back with y'all next week. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay busy.